Tied up 1-1. We are in our first time not having a 3-0 this week.
First, let's make a words to follow up with that word so it makes sense. Yes, game 3. Tempest dropping game 1. It was intense. GLuck, 5th place spot right now in HGC Korea. Contesting against the top. And it has been possible. Game 2 was not one-sided, as we were calling it. Tonight's series will be very one-sided. Of course, the first one was very likely, but this one, GLuck, do they have anything else other than these two, though? Usually, we saw this kind of pattern in 2017, 2016. Some upsets. We had some crazy things, but after that, after those trap cars that they had,
that's when it starts to fall apart.
Yes.
That's when you have to go back to normal play, and you get outplayed by the team that plays normal every time. Let's see what they want to pick for the map, if they want to take that route. We had Dragonshire banned, Braxis banned, so Volskaya is open. They have a Volskaya strat. You know, thinking about it in a similar way to how they use Probius on Infernal Shrines, Probius could work on Volskaya. Pylons, gotta make sure they're not on the conveyor belts, though, because otherwise you're not going to be able to stay on the power field.
You put the turret, you put the cannon,
yeah,
you put the pylon. Well,
could work.
Lots of things. Oh, you bring a Gaslow also.
Maybe they know how to use the cannon perfectly, so like when it rotates around, it's like always on the pylon field at the right time.
You only engage when your cannon's doing the damage and then go back. I think there are lots of strategies that we saw. Even the portal, actually, if you lay that on the belt, it actually goes around. It doesn't stay on one spot. Maybe that's something else that they're thinking, but not going to be in game 3. We're going into Cursed Hollows, and GLuck will be taking first man, first pick.
That's right, Tempest map pick here. Those are the winners. That's pretty normal. So this will be the first time that GLuck will have first pick. They had second pick in the first 2 games. So a little bit of a switch around here. We'll see if they decide to take us with any more curveballs. It's been the Hanzo ban for them both games. Do not expect that to change as we go into this 3rd game here.
Unless they want to grab it themselves. A very good map, Overlord. Play a few Hanzos. Great map to play Hanzo, as the scatter build is the way. Great for the boss, the cam times.
Double boss, baby. Every time they've actually spent a lot of time thinking of us. Look at Relic, he's trying to think of something. You can tell by his hand movements, he's like got something on the tip of his tongue. He's trying to remember what comp he wanted to run. He's like, what's that hero I used to play?
He's like,
have a lot of games
conducting
played.
this draft. Like, it's going to be like this one, and then the next one's going to be this.
He's like, it was like, what's that hero I played like 16 games of? Played a lot. He's like, Genji. Let's ban Abathur.
This means Genji, Hanzo open, but Malfurion route.
Just an interesting stat of every game that Malfurion was left open in, which is now 5 games. He has been first picked today. Sonya rising up to first pick here for Tempest. Going back to the old favorite. We get the Falsty. Good old Falsty. Some Rhaegar in here. Probably not, but I'd love to see it. What are you thinking, GLuck?
Tracer and something else.
Tracer Tyrael?
Sonya is lost, so Medivh is kind of out the question, not 100%. Still very possible.
Tyrael Medivh.
Okay. They want to secure everything.
Medivh is so strong with Polybomb on the boss zones.
Yes.
Especially against a tanky top laner like Sonya. This feels like an obvious Tracer ban to me. Yeah. But I think GLuck already knew that. This is not, they're not like going like, aha, like now we have so much protection for Tracer, they'll never ban it. Can we talk about how Saren always dresses classy for a second? Like he's always got a button-up shirt under his hoodie jersey.
Oh. Is that
Every
so?
time, like it's sometimes different colors. He's very, he's very well-dressed. He's a well-dressed pro gamer, GLuck.
He's ready for the interview all the time. Yes, he's the person. ETC Ben. Concerned about some CC. Potentially also stage dive. I was more of thinking maybe a Garrosh ban.
Well, I was thinking Uther, but
of course that's like the normal easy ban.
yeah.
Since Tempest has a Genji. But seemed like he was really concerned about that ETC.
Okay, Hanzo Rhaegar, so moving away from the Uther regardless. We're talking about Sonya Rhaegar. All they need now is a 5th pick Falstad go tankless. Let's go back to the old times.
Old times with Raven. Formed from of course I'm talking about Medivh. And the map, not the team.
Yeah, we don't like to talk about that team, GLuck.
I'm sorry.
That team, actually, did it disband or does it still exist technically? I actually don't know.
They lost in Crucible and disbanded. 2 of the members went to the military service, and the other ones I do not really follow. And of course, HGC, more important than the ones out there. And hey, Provia's still open. This can be the map.
Really? I
No, they
know.
don't. They need damage.
Yeah.
Great main. After Blaze, no, there was no way.
Blaze has a lot of synergy with Tyrael because of the bunker. Can set up a lot of good fights with that.
I think this is one of the game where I can actually mention about combustion.
Mention it, GLuck.
Possible, I think. They have too many tools to protect the team.
Yeah, like they don't need the bunker per se. That's actually a really good point. Could really slow Sonya and Genji as well. That's actually, you know, I actually like your thinking on this, especially when you're fighting for a boss. You polybomb them, you've got combustion, you're like, this boss is mine. You got a little bit of extra damage, because Greymane is going to be tough to do it alone. Okay, for Tempest, tough question. We're looking for a main tank here. Maybe just a Johanna? For blinds, Arthas, also a possibility. Very slow, though, against the Medivh. I'm just going to go for an old favorite, the Muradin. He is going to be in the face of everybody. He's going to be popping an Avatar, but Polybomb is going to make his life very difficult. So that is one thing I'm a little bit concerned about for Muradin.
It is going to be hard to make an escape sometimes, especially when there's that route, AoE route, when you want to Dwarf Toss away. Has been a great counter ever since that unstoppable change. Malperion has been picked just to counter that Muradin long time ago when there was a change. So that's one other thing Cyan has to be worrying about going into this game.
Relic looks stressed out, man. He's never had to play so many non-Genji heroes before in a series in his life.
I can't play Proteus again. I fun in game 1.
Well, he will be on the Greymane this time. Let's see how he does. So
he can't die. If he dies, basically, unless Blaze is able to sustain for such a long time, they can't really get the pick. They need to get the pick with the Greymane.
Greymane is the second most played DPS, but pretty bad win rate. He's 2 and 4 on the hero. Same win rate for the Battleground amongst both teams. One of Tempest's worst maps. They dropped before Eastern Clash. Both of their losses were on this Battleground. Well, let's see how this comp gets utilized. Post 10, it's going to be very fantastic team comp, but getting to 10 without having Tempest grab both tributes with all the poke they have and all the wave clear they have, that'd be tough. I suppose Genji isn't the greatest wave clear, but everyone else is pretty solid. They've got great ways to control lanes. Sonya can be a good matchup against the Blaze.
In terms of balance, Tempest has the balance. And GLuck, they really need to focus fire onto one target. And possible, but they need lots of teamwork and lots of conditions to make in order to make that work. So that will be another homework that they have to do. Relic already kind of caught, but gets away.
Yep. Just probably see Medivh try to get some stacks up. Did not. Saw him on the mini-map that he was headed over there. Greymane going to come over and clear this cab. Rhaegar, obviously, though, can do it about as fast as him. That's one of the cool things about picking Rhaegar on this map. The reasons why Hyde loves it so much. just a tip for everyone who plays Rhaegar, you can cap right at 1 minute. You can go over there. Just make sure that you always use your cooldowns every time they're available. The heal isn't obviously necessary unless you mess up your micro, but every time you have your wolf form, use it. You get a little bit of extra damage that way.
It's actually super strong. Not just for the camp, but also for the team fight. Of course, if you sometimes dive in, you end up killing yourself. Just watch out on that, but you do so much damage. Rhaegar is a very strong support.
Yeah. Rhaegar also can... it's actually surprising. I talked to a lot of people who don't know this. He can actually self-cast his lightning.
Ancestral?
No, they can't do that. That they cannot do. Ask Bakery about that one. But yeah, you just want to cast it yourself, you press Alt-W. And that'll save you a click. So it's just a quick thing you can do. You can do it with pretty much any ability in the game that can be cast on an allied hero. Even Jaina can self-cast for Blizzard. Put it right on top of herself. Quick way to save you a click. Alright, so this is going to be a one fight on the Knights by GLuck. Sign actually taking a lot of damage. Sauron wants more, but don't think he's going to be able to make that happen. If he had charge, might have been able to use it. So I'm going to heal up those. This is not a crazy trade one by GLuck by any means, especially because Tempest did a lot of damage to the wall too. This ends up being fairly even. Meanwhile, Sonya dies. Okay, more than even. Definitely a huge advantage here for GLuck. That spell armor is so annoying right now.
And even the regrowth actually healing.
Yeah, keeping that wizard alive. Even though he looks real sick with that poison on his health bar, he's doing alright.
Yep. And with that kill, the rotation, the push, I think they just secured the first one for themselves. Misses.
Okay, so that pick gets in the first one. However, for GLuck, this comp is mostly about boss control and harass of the tributes. So the whole idea is to make sure that Tempest doesn't get 10 first and doesn't get double tribute. So they've already secured one objective of that. By the time they get 10, Tempest will not have Curse Point. They might be at 1-1, but they will not have Curse Point. And they are not ahead in experience at the moment. Tempest is behind in experience, in fact. So GLuck is... This game is going exactly to plan. That kill was basically a bonus, but it secured them 10 without Curse Point against them. That's the plan. Then they can contest bosses, they can control camps, they can invade. Their whole comp is about invading camps, bosses, night camps, siege giants, fighting all the time over small areas. The hardest part for them is pre-10 taking tributes, and they've already gotten one.
Sign diving in. The protection actually helping so much. Genji takes the most damage. Goes over the wall with the cyber agility. That takes a lot of damage, but secures the positioning.
Yeah, where's that? Okay, I was gonna say where's the Aldruins, but they used the blaze shot there instead.
Relic caught alone.
That was a weird spot he was in there. Definitely should have taken a different approach to getting onto this point. That's gonna make this a 1-1 tie tribute fight. They don't want to feed any more kills over, so they can make sure they get 10 without Curse Point against them.
Of course, Relic died, so that's a lot of damage removed. So they had to lose the tribute, but can just go back to the camp. It's not the farthest thing off the spawning point, so I think that's not the worst case scenario. And if Relic dies right before the camp timing, that's like the worst case scenario, because Sonya and Rhaegar, they're both doing the camp, Tempest is trying to out macro by the camp time with the wave clear that they have. But GLuck, not really the worst case right now.
The worst case for them is that the tribute's on the red side of the map, and if Tempest takes this, because they actually lost that kill, that statement I made earlier about them not actually getting 10 in Curse Point is not actually true. They certainly can do that now. Zoning out Dami right now, very well done. Looks like Dami and Good have just switched positions, by the way, completely.
Dami's a solo lane and Good having the range.
Which was the opposite of what we were seeing until today for Tempest, including Eastern Clash. This is a good position here for GLuck. They don't have 10. Like, if they had 10, this would be such a fantastic place for them to fight. But because they don't, it's going to be difficult. Good is just going to keep poking. It's very difficult to use Medivh's shields to win a fight against such sustained damage. But if you can kill the Hanzo or force him over the wall, that's an opportunity.
But they have so much poke. They can come around.
This is actually looking really good, though. Forcing out a cleanse. Boss getting involved in the fight for a second. Will Medivh commit to delaying this?
No
I don't
way.
think he can.
It will cost his life if he wants to delay, but I don't think it's worth it at all. So the third tribute goes to Tempest,
So
and it was on their side.
So they lost the objective. The objective was to get 10 and prevent double tribute. Look at the boss fight now that they can't take without 10. So they have to give this boss up. They failed the mission. And that's a big problem. They, in fact, because they timidly approached the boss, aren't even getting their own boss. So now they could theoretically give double boss. They have to deal with the boss push. Things went from okay to horrible in about 5 seconds there with that tribute being captured there.
I think that's okay if Tempest actually wants the double boss. Of course, the boss on top is already pushing, but they want the double boss. That's the timing. GLuck wants to go in and engage onto the target. Has the poly bomb available, but Super Low has to drop that bunker down.
Yep, needed to lock in the bunker to make sure he didn't die there. Boss doing a lot of work in the top lane. Tribute here, favorable spawn for Tempest. They don't get the double boss, but this should be a curse, which means this boss could do a hell of a lot more.
Also, Cursed Bullet locked in from Greymane. Concerned about the damage, possibly.
That's fair. I mean, even Rhaegar's a really tanky support. I'm not opposed to that.
But who's going to catch the kill? I think I'm worried a little bit about it. Twilight Dream does the damage, I do understand, but oftentimes you end up going in, catch the support, because Hanzo and Genji, they're away from the main position oftentimes. You have to use that go for the throw to pick up the kill. Let's see how well they are able to focus with that bullet.
This is the worst place for them to fight as well. With their heroic choices. Ancestral going to connect here. Polybomb is good though. Getting the triple. Very annoying. Dami does avoid that for a second time there. Bunker used on at the same time as it's kind of stacked. So not really great for GLuck. Boss is dead. So it's not going to be cursed boss. Luckily those cannon towers, they bought enough time for the cannon towers to take it out in the top lane. Losing a lot of experience up there. But it looks like they should be able to secure this tribute. Totally missed North American Hanzo arrow right there.
It was very close, but I guess the hitbox were not big enough to actually hit.
You don't have to be apologetic about North America. You don't have to say very close.
Well,
I know your last name is NA, but
I love NA boys.
His last name really is NA.
Yes.
It's not.
My last name is actually NA, and it doesn't really, it doesn't not only start with NA, it finishes with NA, like NA. That's my last name.
Yeah. Well, Hyde gonna take this camp again. We're at even curse tributes. No keeps down for GLuck, but they were unable to secure the boss, so they lost a huge advantage in that way. Let's see what GLuck is going to make of this next tribute fight. It is blue side. The Polybomb did a lot in that last fight. This one's going to be, this location of the tribute forces Tempest to be aggressive. You see it's on the left side of this crater. Or whatever that is, like angry raven statues looking at it. And that means Tempest has to go in aggressively. That means Polybomb and Bunker and Twilight Dream and Sanctification are all going to be great tools. This is going to be the hardest tribute Tempest could ever take. So unfortunate they lost the last one because this one is a curse if they can't stop it. Getting in there, diving in right now.
Better position for GLuck this time.
Yeah.
Very
Bunker's
nice.
down. Saving
good
the
time for
poly.
the poly right after the Sanctification. It is coming.
There it is. They want this kill super badly. Sign, though, gets out, gets the Avatar. MVP play right there.
Hyde does not even use that Ancestral.
Everything wasted.
Wow.
But they still zone. They still zone. They have a hit point advantage at the moment. Interrupts coming through here for Lockdown. He wants Blue Beetle. They don't have 13. No Ice Block. He's going to need that protection. Saren's very low. He's stunned. He's taken out. Tempest in fantastic position to win this fight now. They put all their eggs in the sign basket, and he still got the Avatar off. Still survived. That wins them this fight. Milky Way's the last survivor here. But this is going to be a curse and a boss. Given our last boss timing, I imagine we're probably looking at potentially a boss right after curse. Probably about a minute and a half left on that boss. You get the boss first to maximize the value of the curse. Going to start this camp, then channel. So we'll have Siege Giants, boss, and Knights pushing with no shots being fired from any of the structures on the side of GLuck. Very well executed here from Tempest after the one fight.
Perfect team fight. The trust was there. The communication was already there. Hyde knew So they're going in, GLuck contesting. Bunker's down. I don't think they can go anywhere in, but going in once again. No sanctification though. Have to back up, no Dragon Blade either. Dami taking the shots. Arrow actually stunning them. Serum very low. Lockdown will find the target.
Good's gonna escape here too. Milky Way out of position. This is becoming a lot of dash resets here for
Even
Lockdown.
worse, this will be a keep now. Getting another kill. Protected, both sides.
Yeah,
but
Relic.
deflection's OP.
Yeah, Relic actually almost getting the kill there, but the deflection, as you say, somewhat OP. They end up trading regardless. The Sank here just to buy time, but this is going to be game over. Boss plus Curse uses this death trait to try to clear the minion waves, but they're going to look for a game-ending push now. Again, like I said, the second boss is up after Curse, so even if somehow miraculously GLuck is going to hold this, which, spoiler alert, I don't think so, they're going to have other options, other opportunities. Silence here from Blue Beetle, very annoying to deal with. Bunker, you know, somewhat of a delay, but there's just too much damage here. Tempest is going to take this map. They're going to go to match point here, 2-1. Bringing it back. This has been our best series of the week, absolutely, but it's looking like in terms of more standard play and more standard drafts, Tempest is the stronger team.
I think Tempest, after 1 and 2, realized that if we do what we are good at, I think we can just take this team and win the series. I think that's exactly the path you take. Of course, you can be surprised by one game, but keeping it cool, doing what you're good at is the best way of doing it. Sometimes not always, but in this long series, best of 5, you have to win 3 games to win the series. So GLuck also bringing, not really executed 100% well, but still having a theme, what they wanted to do with the mid-eve. Worked out sometimes, not all the time, but we could see what they were trying to do in Game 3.
Yeah, it was a really cool idea. They needed to get that 10. They needed it because they had the boss with Curse. Boss with Curse won the game. That they needed to get that 10. Boss goes top. They have control of the bottom lane. That was it. Mission failed, as I said earlier, but like that's basically the whole crux of this. Is if you could do that one thing, you can contest every boss, you can contest every tribute. The team, the composition they built was only strong after 10. They had such a strong early game. They did really well, but that one last fight that they could not control was what cost them the game at the top, and then things just snowballed from there. They had a few good fights, a few good moments after that, but they needed to have the whole macro controlled. They needed to have everything contained. They just couldn't do that. And
also one thing from Tesseron, whenever he plays that Blaze, oftentimes he got caught in the beginning of this year, so many times with the rotation. He was a lot better coming into part 2, but his Blaze play, it seemed like he was back in part 1. He was getting hit way too much alone in the front line. He's kind of a tank, but not a tank player. He was wasting the bunker too much alone by himself, not really buying too much time either. He was just trying to keep himself alive in that case, not really letting Relic come into the fight, really saving his teammate either. So I think he wasted a lot of the team potential.
Yeah, a lot of the bunkers were like pretty iffy.
So I think if he fixes on that positioning, not really take too much damage before the big scene breaks apart, I think they can actually have a better team fight with using the bunker to save Greymane maybe sometimes. I think that potential was basically broken, but if they are able to keep that later on, maybe some adjustments can be made in those kind of play.
Yeah. Just want to talk about Battlegrounds for a minute. We have Towers of Doom, Sky Temple, Battlefield of Eternity, I believe are the last maps available, and Hanamura. So, it feels like...
What did you just say, Wolf?
I'm sorry, Volskaya.
I'm offended.
Woo! I said the H word on broadcast. I'm sorry. Please don't report me.
Well, at least report, guys. There are ways of reporting. Please come to the Korean server and make sure you have him as a friend and at least snipe him on the matchmaking.
Is using the H word abusive chat? Is it abusive cast? We're going to BOE! Going to BOE, GLuck's pick. Time for the Relic. Time for the Genji draft. Or are they going to pick Hanzo finally, Jacob? Are they going to see the light? Look.
It has to happen, you know?
The more handsome of the Shimada brothers. He's got facial hair.